Damn, how are we gonna recover after that game, boys? We gotta figure out how to actually watch games again. After watching that, we gotta recover. We got ourselves our boy Athaman over on Team Red with FaZe. We got ourselves Void Form coming back as a Shadow Priest, Illidanid, and Pina? I don't know. Pina. We call it Pina Colada versus Actos God X. We got ourselves Keshi on Team Blue, Katrikan, Christina, be out of cat from Please Unless You're Doing, and Alzamon. Actos is getting hit with a stun. It's going to be a Mali rolling up. It looks like Illidanid is going to be dropping down some lances onto Arthas. Arthas is going to have to heal up quite a bit, catching those wheel fights ASAP. Trying to see if we can lock down Illidanid with a big old Fist of Fury and a wall to follow. Illidanid does go for a bit of an imprison just to get some CC onto Arthas, but I guess he already had some dots up and running. Lexio by Arthas as he's trying to get some damage onto Illidan, and Illidan is looking like he's going to bail the hell out of there with that blur. It does go to re-engage. Realize that his defenses are better used offensively, but it looks like Illidan is maybe a little corrupted. Maybe a little too corrupted. Are we going to see a thing from beyond? Actually, he looks less corrupt. He does have a little bit of corruption. I wonder if he's going to be running enough to be like into the Grand Illusion levels. I guess we'll have to wait and see. As Arthas God is going for a bit of a hit and run with Illy. Both of them are trying to make hit and runs happen. Sometimes they're running at each other. Sometimes they back the hell up. That's going to be a stun into Arthas, and Illy activating that metamorphosis through the Ibium talent of Demonic. Slappers are coming down from Illidanid. He's going to be able to back up from Arthas as he's landing the Fist of Furies. He's going to be able to port away. If he didn't have a port, that would have been a really ballsy move to just stay out in the open like that. But he does not allow Illidanid to catch up on heals, by the way. No catching up on heals happening at all. Because Arthas is able to heal himself behind the pillar. Illidan needs to engage in combat in order to get those heals. So he needs to land the I-beams. He needs to go for the big cleaves, especially as the images are up. There's going to be leg sweep onto Illidan with the Fist of Fury flying. Doing a bit of damage. Illidan is not really looking all that good. In cap, as he's dropping down darkness. Looks like Batman there for a second. And it's going to get Ring of Boopity bopped out of the darkness. And Arthas back to the kiting spear until he has some cooldowns available, until he has some damage of his own. And looks like he's looking to finish the fight with a Demon Hunter. Big meta coming out for Illidanid. He still has a lot of pressure available. Fist of Fury flying. Unless he can find a way to sub the Fist of Fury, it's going to be tough. Does get a Mally roll into Arthas with a stun to follow. Double stun right after. Could be a Karma out of Arthas. Does reverse the Mally back into Illidan. Not letting him heal at all. And Illidan might be going down. Does catch up on a little bit of health. Is going to be imprisoned on Arthas for just a second. Still holding on to that Karma. Illidan is super low on health. Arthas trying to finish him off without using Karma. Might have to still. Illidan does get out of that. Fist of Fury is going to get fell lances rolling to Arthas. 1 or 2 lances does hit him. 3 lances hit him. Illidan is still super low on health, and Zoan is not going to be able to eliminate him. Big old kick by Arthas off that in-cap. Does take him down. Planted the flag of ownership. Illidan, he's not planting in there. He's just trying to show it to you, man. He has a weirder way of showing his toys to other kids. You know what I mean? Show and tell. He's like, oh, how do I do that? Plant. He sent a bunch of other kids to the hospital when he was at preschool. Fear onto Arthas. Is Void Form going to be able to actually do much about this? Because this is Shadow Priest. But I believe in the dream as well. Karma comes in for Arthas. Decided, you know what? I'm going to treat this Shadow Priest with all due respect. Live swap available for Void Form. If he ever wants to, is going to go for that Void Operations to get away from Arthas, the god. Live swap available. Disperse is on standby. Arthas catching up quite a bit of heals, and Void Form kind of trying to catch up on heals and be out in the open, where if Arthas wants to charge at him, he needs to go out in the open. So Void Form might be able to get a cast or 2. That's going to be a big old Dragon Kick, really closing the gap. Void Form is able to get at least a couple spells cast out to Arthas, get himself a shield up and running. It's going to be Greater Fade. Does not get interrupted on a Greater Fade. But the Incap is going to stop him. And Arthas is going to have to wait until he has a bunch of cooldowns available to really commit a lot of damage into Void. Got himself a bit of damage rolling. Big slappers coming out. Void Form got himself Void Form rolling. But that's going to be dispersed to follow right after. And Arthas is turning around to the Mindbender. Not really backing up to get himself a CC reset. But rather, he's trying to stay on top of Void Form as best as possible. That's going to be redobbed by the Shadow Priest. He still has some damage available. Maybe a leg sweep could be really bad. He does have life sweep if he needs to. Might need to make an emergency life sweep right now. Trying to hold on to as best as possible. Silence on the Arthas. Might need to go for swap. There he goes. Arthas might want to consider backing up out of here as best as possible. Does have diffuse magic. Does have wall. Maybe because of all those defenses, he decided, you know what, I'm going to sit in here. I'm gonna hang in. Greater Fate coming out for Void Form. Arthas forced to kind of back up, and that's gonna be Shadow Priest on the chase to the Monk. did not go in for a fear. Arctis actually stood his ground and got a couple of those vilifies, which is good for him. And Voidform is going to get out in the open, is going to create as much distance between Arctis and him. So if Arctis does want to come out in the open to get some damage, he's going to have to close the gap. Again, the Dragon Kick really lets him net much of the gap closing potential. In-cap off of that Touch of Death. That's going to be actually Arctis dispel himself, almost put himself in a bad fear, and had to trinket out of that horror from the VT. But does take down Voidform. That was a lot of damage. Touch of Death really did maximize. But Arctis really put himself back. He diffused magic, which put him in a horror effect. And he did not want to get hit with a mind control. So he trinketed his own self-inflicted horror. So that was a little bit of maybe a misplay. But if he survives phase here, he does have karma. Then I guess it doesn't really matter, right? He still win. A win is a win. But he did have to trinket his own self-inflicted CC. If he just did not press the button, he would have been okay. Oh, man. It's going to be Ivy right now for phase. Big dress on the Arctis is going to have to pop the karma. If only his health was just a little bit lower or phase crit in any one of his abilities there just now. Just crit a little bit harder. That karma wouldn't have mattered at all. That would have been a done and done game. In-cap onto phase. As Arctis is going to hit him with a disarm. Not a lot of health available. I think he might be going down. He invests if you're locking down phase, but I think he has it in the bag at this point. Vivifies is trying to come out. Blade Dance does run him over. And next up is going to be Christina popping in the big old cat form. Going to be a stun on her face. Christina popping a trinket himself. Thorning up. That's going to be the two juggernauts. Big dress out of Christina. Onto phase is looking to get the hell away from the Demon Hunter. Got him dotted up. Dotted and rotted and ready to go. And doesn't want him to really get the big meta damage phase. Trying to see if he can juke out Christina. What? How did you two just lagged so hard? Christina went one way, phase went the other. And you guys couldn't follow each other. Weird. Weird. Stun to Christina short and phase is going to extend his metamorphosis. Another stun to Christina. Looks like Christina might be lagging himself just a little bit. And so maybe his phase. As we hit on the 7-minute mark, 12% dampening. Christina got himself wall up and running here. Could be a lot of damage to counter. Maybe? Looks like he's actually playing super defensive. He did have a wall at one point. He didn't take the mastery damage if he's on survival instincts. Or masterful instincts, I guess, is a trait. Whatever the trait is after your wall, you got a big mastery buff. He didn't run it into PvP. He didn't want to take the defensive potential in the counter offensive. So now he's going to have to play super defensive until a better moment. But maybe that moment is gone with that big dress. And that's something to follow. Does get a bash off at the phase. Phase, all he needs to do is just charge next to Christina. Sniper heal. Does hit him with an imprison. At least he might just be able to take him out. Thorns might not be enough to stop him right here. And does take him out with a Reaping Flame. Next up is going to be Azamon getting the weirdest charge around the corner onto phase. Is going to bail the hell out. Double charge for Azamon. No Stormbolt available for the Troll Warrior. It looks like Azamon is lagging really badly. His health is definitely not lagging. His health is being quite accurate. His health is dropping quite fast. You wish his health had a delayed drop rate. Oh no, it's just a lot of damage on her phase. His phase got himself quite a bit of defensive, but still playing very much hit and run, waiting until the big meta, and barely touching Azamon. He's actually more running away from the guy, and Azamon is just taking so much damage. Is that another Gushing Winds Demon Hunter? As Al's just goes down like as if it was nothing. Catchy getting a big opener onto phase with a stun. Bike that's going to be bashed after phase. Trinkets that stun so late. And it's going to be traded out of Keshi. Does that wall right here. And it's going to be take that wall. Probably take it all the way to the bank because he can now get a reversal into phase. But the DRs are going to be so high. He does get the maim. But he doesn't really do much with that maim. So phase is still on a run. Guess you might have to go for another wall and then get himself a big setup. Needs to get the comp points off of phase first. Big stun. Dress to follow. I-beam. Dresses him back. I'm going to dress you right back. And Kachika now is getting empowered. Bites him right. He's getting supercharged. It's like a human battery, dude. They're powering him up. He's eating a nice healthy bowl of breakfast. And phase, man. He's ready to go. Kachika, are you fully charged up? Are you battery charged? I think he's getting charged up. Give me your energy, Team Red. I'm going in there, boys. Kachika versus phase. The last man standing on Team Blue. Does he have what it takes? Give him your energy. What did it? Somebody kick phase? Oh, he kicked phase in the nuts and interrupted the I-beam. Phase, how are you going to recover? Wait. I don't think phase has nuts. That's a surprise. Oh, 2020, am I right? Gatchagan is going to try to see if he might be able to get some damage to the face. Face actually trying to see if he can stay on the low platform in order to see if he can maybe jump across Cat. Trying to backflip into the wall. Not going to happen. Gatchagan leaping far in order to snag that charge. Maybe has a second charge available. It's going to be Blaze Storm. Face cannot stop for a moment. Face getting a lot of heals available, though Gatchagan did just burn through in Rage Regeneration. Phase. He has a limited amount of time in this meta. Better make it last. Gatchagan popping and commanding shout. Does he have any CC chains to lock down Phase? He's gonna have a trinket for this one though. Charge, disarmor to Phase. Could trinket out of it if he wants to. Does get a backflip away. Gatchagan might be going down here. Unless he can lock down Phase, it's gonna be reflect available. Can he reflect anything back at Phase? I think it's gonna be a stun and done and done. Phase actually comes in and cleans house. 5-0. You tried, Cat. You did your best. Now, how many of you guys want to play a game? How many gushings does he have? That could be a game now. Okay, Phase. At least Annihilation was his second most used ability. At least it wasn't lethal strikes, right? Oh my goodness. Ban Demon Hunters, please. Oh man. That's crazy. Throw the most damaging and not even class abilities. That's true. That is true. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.